Shall we go on to talk over together the thing that we wish to talk about this morning, relationship? I think the word means, please correct me, from Latin, to refer to look back. I think that's most of our relationships are that. And we're going to talk over together the whole significance of relationship as it is, and in the understanding of what it is actually, go beyond all the implications of that narrow, limited relationship into something wider and deeper. That's what we're going to discuss, talk over together. So, what do we mean by relationship? Please, this is not a talk by me or a solo, but please join us, all of us together in this, because we're all involved in some kind of relationship or another. With a wife, with a husband, with a girl or with a boy, with parents, with our relationship to society, to nature, to the whole world, our relationship to all the things that are happening in the world, the terrible things, the violence, and also the extraordinary technological advancements in science and engineering and so on. So, not only the limited relationship between two people, but also our relationship with the whole world. Have we any? And so on. So shall we start it? Will you start it?
Sir, when you said the word, you understood it in the dictionary, you mean to refer back to?
Referre from Latin, to look back to, refer to.
Are you of the opinion that people generally, this is how they relate to other people, they refer back to them? I don't quite understand what you meant by that. I think you said you feel that people generally...
Let's begin, sir. I forget what I've said. What does relationship mean to you, to each one of us? I am married. Suppose I am married. I have children. What is my relationship to my wife, to my children? And what do I mean by relationship? Am I related to nature, to the world, to the ecological world? Am I related to what is happening in Nicaragua, between the Arab and the Jew, between the starvation and so on and so on? So what is my relationship with the most intimate and the most far outward? We have to begin with the near closest and then work forward. So if you are married, if you have got a girlfriend, or if you have no girlfriend, and so on, what is our relationship is with another?
We don't seem to have any at all.
Please investigate it.
There's always a barrier there whenever you meet anyone, or a separation between what's happening outside or in nature or in each one of us.
I can see that with my family, it's a succession of trying all the time, of shifting, and to a certain extent with nature just around, but the father issues, I can see that it doesn't extend to any extent, really.
Look, madam, relationship is one of the most important things in life. Relationship between me and another, me with many others, which create society. And in my relationship with another, there is always tension. There is always a sense of division, and therefore conflict, and a sense of guilt, a sense of possession, sense of responsibility, sense of protection, all that's involved in it. Not only with children, but with each other. And that apparently, from the ancient of times till now, it goes on that way. Constant conflict between you and me. Not you and me, but I mean my wife and myself, or with another. Why do we go on that way? Why do we live that way? What is right or wrong in our relationships with each other? Now, I want to begin the closest and then gradually work to the world about us. Not only in England, but in India, Japan, the whole world. So I must begin near to go far. So I see as it is now, without exaggeration, without giving false values, a constant struggle, constant pain, constant tension, a division. If we accept that as being normal, then it's all right. But if one doesn't accept it as being normal, healthy, then we have to proceed to find out whether it is possible to end that kind of relationship in which there is no shadow of conflict with each other. Is that possible? What are the implications if it is possible? And whether one can actually in daily life do it. That's the issue we're going to talk about this morning.
I have a relationship with another in those moments when I am aware of them and aware of myself in that moment. But as I approach it, I feel fear and I feel either pain or a threat of pain.
That's right, sir. So all that's implied, pain, attachment, jealousy, anxiety, fear, and the great sexual pleasure, and so on. The whole of that is implied in our daily relationship. Is that, why do we accept it? Why don't we question it? That's what we are here. Let me again repeat. We are here, this gathering, the group of us, are supposed to be serious people with a serious intention to understand our problems and resolve them. Not in 10 years' time, but as here, now. Otherwise, it's not worth talking about unless it becomes theoretical and nonsensical. Personally, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. If I have a problem of that kind, I want to resolve it instantly. That may be my peculiar tendency or my way of looking at it. I don't want to carry a problem overnight, especially psychological problem, which is a relationship with another. Either I say that's normal, I can't help it, living that way, and for the rest of my life, it is that. I may change wives, I may change husbands, but it is the same pattern is repeated over and over and over again. And as I'm a serious man, I want to find out if it can end, what is the manner of ending it, and what a way of living in which there is no conflict at all. That's what I want to find out. At least that's what we are gathered here to do that. Not
overlook the original meaning of that word relationship, which means to carry back.
what's
The
up?
idea of relationship is something goes out from one person or one thing, and something is carried back from the other.
Yes, yes.
Without the carry back, the relay, there won't be anything called relationship.
Yes.
It's got to be carried back. And we've been talking so far as though one person were doing the relating only.
I think we have heard all that, didn't we? So I don't have to repeat it. Please enter into the discussion, sirs.
Is it important to know why we look at life?
Yes, why do we support this kind of life? Why do we live this way?
But is it important to know why we question?
Huh?
Why we live? Is it important to know what is our motivation?
No, I'm questioning it now, sir. I'm questioning why human beings, including us, we live that way. Is it part of our heritage, part of our tradition, part of our habit? So we've got used to it and say, yes, that's the way to live. This tree struggle, everything struggle, this is part of nature, part of we're inevitable that in our relationship there must be conflict. You can find all kinds of excuses, but the fact remains, which is a relationship between two people, give and take, looking back, and all the rest of it. Now, why we are questioning, why we accept that way of life. Why we accept wars, why we accept violence, and so on, so on, so on.
So if we relate in a partial, we seem to lose sight of the infinite lies behind us. And therefore our motivations are in a partial sense. We can see the infinite, or we can see creation perhaps in nature. We can be free of nature, but in personal relationships it's more difficult.
So do you say you accept it as it is?
I don't know. There seems to be the problem of not wanting to be entangled in something false, and yet not wanting to isolate oneself.
I don't quite follow this. I mean, the others may follow. Please answer him, not me alone. I'm not the oracle.
Well, you said relationship creates conflict.
No, I didn't say that.
Or what was it you said?
Not I said. It's what is the fact.
What is the fact?
Fact is, in our daily relationship with each other, man, woman, and so on, there is division, there is conflict,
Yes.
there is struggle,
Yes.
and all the things involved in it, which we don't have to describe in most detail because everybody knows what our relationships are.
If all those things are eliminated, if all those things are gone,
No, that not if. You see, that is supposition.
or when all those things
The
are
same
gone,
thing. If, when.
Sir, isn't part of the tension in a relationship because another can hurt you and you're afraid of this? You know, they can say a word.
So first let's see what we are actually is taking place, and then we can move from there. If we accept that this kind of struggle in a relationship is healthy, and in nature everything is struggling. A tree in a forest is struggling to have the light. A tiger is chasing a deer. You follow? There, constant struggle. And we may say this is, to have this conflict is healthy, helps us to grow, all kinds of things. And you accept it, right? One generally accepts it. Unless the struggles becomes utterly intolerable, then there is divorce. Then there is the breaking up the family, which affects the children, and so on, so on, so on. If that is a fact, and it is generally a fact, then how do we approach the fact in order to bring about a transformation in the way we are living? I can't explain. I think it's fairly clear what we are talking about, isn't it?
I feel that there is no true relationship if there is no love.
So then we come to the question, what is love? That's what I didn't want. We may come to that question presently, or we may begin with that, if you will. Then we have to inquire into what we call love. Have we love for another? One may say, I love my wife, but is that love? So on. You follow, sir?
Why there is no love in us?
Beg pardon?
Why, if there is no true relationship, I feel it's because there is no love in us, inside us.
So I want to find out. I don't know why I'm answering. Please, all of them, we're all supposed to take part in this discussion, every one of us. Not me talk all the time and you listen. All of us are supposed to engage in conversation when one question is put by another, to answer it as well as we can, find out how each one of us reacts to these things.
Before I can come to any consideration of love, I have to somehow face the fact that I'm threatened by a relationship.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Are we clear what our actual relationships are at present, now, not in some future if and when?
We're all afraid of getting hurt.
Come on.
We're all afraid of getting hurt.
So, is our relationship based on fear, getting hurt?
It is unconsciously based on fear, pressure, and images.
Huh?
It is unconsciously based on fear, pressure, and images.
Sunki, you heard me talk about images. Infinitely, number of years have been taught. Are you repeating it, what we have said, or you have discovered that for yourself?
Well, see, I meet somebody, and that person give a certain, do something which I like, and then I would have a certain image of this person. Oh, this person is named such and such, and
Yes.
this very kind person.
So you are clear. It's your own discovery. Not, I haven't told you that you got an image about that person. It's your own discovery that you have an image about a person.
Yes, that I
Yeah,
have an image is mine.
that's all. So it's yours, not mine. Huh? What is it?
I think we do have relationship with people.
Huh?
I think we do have relationship with people, but they're limited because we always look for something to share. I mean, for example, nationalism will bring a lot of people together and they will have a sort of relationship. But the moment there's nothing that interests you in a relationship with someone, you won't care.
So, interest brings us together because of a particular interest. Is that it?
Like here we're sitting together and we have a relationship because we all care about the same thing.
Now, aren't we moving away from what we're talking about? I'm just asking.
Well, that's also part of another factor of a relationship, which he was talking about.
Might it help? Can we go back to the question, how is it that we can approach this so that it will bring about a transformation in relationship?
And also, the gentleman raised a question. Our relationship, we are anxious about a relationship because it's based on fear of getting hurt.
I don't understand this getting hurt.
We'll go into it, sir, but first, apparently this seems important. First, do we realize, if I may ask, that at present, as we live daily, our relationship is a peculiar affair. Put it mildly. A sense of division. You and me. You with your ambitions, you with your career, you with your passions, you with your ambitions and so on, and me with my ambitions and greed and so on. So this is our actual daily state. I have a profession and I spend 10 hours at it, earning money. I come home and she's also gone out to earn money and comes home, right? And we are both tired, irritation. All you know this. Why should I describe it? I'm not married, so.
There's also with little children.
Beg pardon?
A peculiar relationship with very little children, where one feels they can look through one. So there's a block in the relationship.
What I'm asking, madam, is, do we realize actually the way our relationships are? Do I know my relationship with my wife or with girl and boy is divisive? And because it is divisive, there must be conflict. That's all I'm starting from there.
I don't think we do know it. At least I don't think I know it most of the time. It's a sort of compulsive thing. And until I can allow it to be different and to be separate, then I've got no choice.
Then how do we discuss, madam, this problem? Nobody seems to want to join except you, few of us, all of us. It's all our problem. Why don't we talk about it? Why don't we go into it? Are we afraid to go into it?
It's a fact.
So are we afraid to go into the fact?
I think we are.
Huh?
I think we are.
That's just it. We are afraid to go into the fact and facing the fact, and the very facing of the fact may produce certain reactions, and of those reactions we are afraid. Is that it? Huh?
I'm nearly crying.
Be one man.
I'm nearly crying when I think about it.
So what shall we do? Just verbally talk about relationship and keep our fears and things, let things go on as they are?
That's what we generally do.
I know, sir. Is that what you want? No, God. So.
How can we in every moment recognize division? It seems that we see it maybe retrospectively afterwards, but in the moment we have like a barrier, we can't see past our noses. How can we recognize this division in every second?
I don't have to recognize something, it is there. Why do I have to say I have to recognize that I am in conflict with my wife? It's there.
I'm afraid of saying so.
Therefore, is it a question of fear that we don't talk about our relationship?
Yes. In case...
If it is fear, let's tackle fear. Let's go into the question of fear. But if you say, sorry, I don't want to discuss any kind of relationship with my wife or with the world or with anything, because I'm afraid if I do go into it, something may happen in our status quo. Therefore, let's leave that alone. Let's talk about God and golf or the beautiful days. Is that what you want? If you want to talk about God and the beautiful days or something like that, cut me out. It's very simple.
Well, for me, I again come back on the level of getting hurt.
All right, sir. Now wait a minute. Do I really want to find a relationship with somebody in which being hurt is impossible? Is it possible never to be hurt? If we even that to discuss it.
Well, you ask, is it possible never?
Of course.
Never to be hurt.
Never to be hurt.
Non-physical, you mean?
In all relationships.
But I sometimes feel hurt.
Huh?
I sometimes feel hurt.
Sometimes.
Feel hurt.
I don't quite follow me.
Feels hurt sometimes.
Why should I be hurt? Why should another hurt me? Why should my wife hurt me? Or my children, or my boss, or anybody, doesn't matter who it is. Why should they hurt me? No, why? I know they do. I know we have been hurt.
Because you have different feelings and different thoughts.
It seems that we have a self, and that self is what gets hurt, and that self is what prevents us from having any relationship.
So there are either we accept being hurt, that's inevitable, or there is a way of living in which, a way of living in a relationship where there is no hurt at all.
It's also a problem of hurt.
Apparently you don't even find out.
It's also the not wanting to hurt the other person because something else is capable of doing that.
What do we do now, sir? Do you want to go into this question of being hurt?
Yes, yes, yes.
Which means a way of living with another, intimately or not intimately, in which there is no possibility at any time of being hurt, right? Is that possible? So let's find out, right? And if you say not possible, then it's finished. No, if you say it is not possible, you have closed the door on it.
It is possible.
If you say it is possible, you have also closed the door on it. Let's find out. Do you really want to go into this?
Yes, I've never thought of this.
No, all of us, not you and I, but all of us. Is this a problem that you want to discuss, go into, and resolve it? Not next year start again, say, I'm hurt, please tell me how to get rid of it. It becomes too silly. If you want,
Probably I want to find out because I don't like being hurt.
if you want to go into this question of being hurt, what is hurt? When you say, I'm hurt by my wife or by somebody, what is the thing that's hurt?
Some feeling of myself.
Examine it, madam. Don't answer me. Forgive me. Find out for yourself what is the thing that's hurt.
One can see that,
What's up?
one can see as one looks at it, that there are areas of rigidity in oneself that are hurt.
Which?
Areas of rigidity in oneself that is hurt.
Areas of rigidity.
What?
Rigidity.
Oh, rigidity. All right, you say that. Somebody, please, all of us take
self.
part in this, for God's sake.
It's the self, Krishnaji, that's hurt.
What is the self? What do you mean?
It's
What is that?
It's self-images, it's the...
No, sir.
what you consider
Look,
to be you.
look, I want to find out. I am hurt for various reasons. We can find out what has hurt me. But I want to find out what is the thing that is hurt. You understand, sir? Is it my thought? Is it my body? Is it my image about myself? Is it a sense of wanting not to be hurt and therefore being hurt? You follow? So what is it when you say I'm hurt? Is it physical hurt or a psychological hurt?
No, it's a psychological hurt. We're talking about,
Huh?
we're talking about psychological hurt. I took it that we were talking about that.
I'm asking you, sir, please tell me or
Well,
tell each other.
let's
I
talk
don't...
about psychological hurt, because physical pain I can understand, I'm sure.
But doesn't psychological pain really physical pain as well?
What, in the sense that you mean you feel tense?
I am married. Or you call me a fool. And I'm hurt. My wife says something to me and I get hurt. Right? Or you call me a perfect fool, an idiot, and I get hurt. Now I'm asking you, please stick to this one point. What is the thing when I say I am hurt? What is hurt?
It seems to me that I'm hurt because I have a certain idea of myself.
All right, leave it there. An idea about myself, right? Wait, keep to that one thing. Don't add more to it. We'll come to it. That is, I have an idea about myself, right? I think I'm a great man with tremendous reputation. You come along and say you're a perfect ass, and I get hurt, right?
That's not the primary observation. The first observation is sensations in the body and heat or
Yes, sir. No. I am hurt because you called me a fool, right? Now, what is the thing that's hurt? When I say I am hurt, what is this I that is hurt? You don't.
Well, there are certain things that compose our self, our conditions, our ideas, everything our self is made up of. So, for that matter, we have certain desires, certain goals, and certain ideas. If someone comes along and contradicts what I think, what I know is myself, is my knowledge, is my idea, is my condition, and breaks it at a certain limit, well then it is for me, not for him, because he has other ideas and other conditionings and other.
So for you,
other
leave the other fellow
things. For me, it is not enough. the line is broken at a certain
So
point.
you call when you have certain idea.
I have a certain goal.
Yes,
Like,
certain
yes.
idea, certain, keep to that word idea,
Yes.
which the gentleman suggested. That idea is broken,
It's
is
broken, yes.
is modified or
Yes.
shattered.
Yes.
And that idea being shattered hurts you.
Well, yes,
Keep,
of course, because...
keep to that. Don't expand.
Okay, yes, of course.
Now, so what is hurt is the idea about yourself. Keep to that simple thing. Keep
What
it.
is hurt is, yes, it's my idea, it's my...
Keep to that simple thing. I have an idea about myself, or I have an idea, or a belief,
Or a goal.
or a conclusion, so on, so on. You come along and break it, kill it,
yeah.
or break it up.
modify it.
Modify. So I get hurt.
Yes.
That's all. Keep it there. So, what happens? You come along and break my idea, or you give a shock to that idea, and I get hurt. I shrivel up. Right?
Yes.
That's all. Right, sir?
It's not just the idea that I have about myself, it's the idea I have of the other.
Oh no, I have no idea. How can I have the idea about the other?
Because I have an idea of, say, that there is... I don't get hurt if people I don't care about or don't respect say that I'm a fool. It's only that if someone says this, if I have an idea about something that's between us or that I respect his opinion.
It is still my idea.
It's my idea, but not entirely only inwardly about myself. It's also...
It is still my idea about her.
Yes, all right.
Well, yes, if I have an idea and you come along and chip off half of it, or say, if I think I'm something and you say I'm something else, I don't necessarily have to be hurt. I can say, well, he's the fool. I'm not the fool. He's a fool for saying I'm a fool because I'm not a fool, and then therefore I avoid the whole issue.
Which means I have
conserve
an
my ideas.
I have an idea. I'm not a fool. I don't see why we scramble all over the place for a simple thing. I have an idea. And you come along, chip that idea, break it up, and I get hurt. That idea gets hurt.
But she is saying that not necessarily one will get hurt.
Is the point that one is depending on other people to keep this?
That partly, sir, I am dependent on you or my wife or on somebody. And I am afraid that dependency might break down. And therefore I'm frightened. And so I get more dependent on her or on him. It is still me getting hurt. I'm asking, what is the me that gets hurt?
It seems like desire is the ideas come out of desire.
No, don't, you're going off to a little more complex thing. Have you an idea about yourself which can be hurt? You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Huh? Now, you have a picture, you have an idea, you have an image, or you have conclusions about yourself, and that image, conclusions, ideas get hurt. Right? Then next question is, why do you have images about yourself? Why do you have a conclusion about something or other? You don't go into all this.
I suppose to give it a meaning.
What?
To give the self a meaning. What do you give the meaning to?
I can't hear that, sir, what you say.
Well, a conclusion is
it gives importance to the... Well, it's still the idea that one is important.
I think it's for security.
Back to the same.
So somehow there's an energy that tries to be important. There's something behind it that wants importance.
But what can we really try to nail down? What we speak of it as energy that seeks importance. But is that just a different word for the same thing that we're trying to catch hold of? A me, an ego, an idea, an energy. What is that thing, or is there such a thing? And why is there a movement forward all the time of generating it?
Isn't thought that kind of thing that creates all these ideas and desires to be meaningful?
So, should we try to find out what it is?
I even don't know if it has got something to do with my idea when I get hurt by seeing violence.
No, you see, you're moving away from something which is, we are talking about relationship. Relationship with my wife or my girlfriend or with my boy or whatever it is, relationship. In that relationship, we get hurt, right? Is that what you're saying? Or am I saying it and you are accepting it? Huh?
No, we're saying.
Right. People are frightened about this matter, you know. That's why they're all very quiet. Because it may open the Pandora door, you know what that is? Open the devils inside. And so he's frightened, keeps it all very close. So I want to open it for myself. You don't have to listen. I've opened it for myself umpteen times. So I'm hurt. I question, I say, why? Why am I hurt and what is hurt? As he pointed out, as many of you have pointed out, it is my idea, my belief, my conclusion, my dependency, my sense of beliefs and so on I have got, which all goes up to make up a picture about myself. Right? Right? I am a what? A scientist, a professor, a businessman or something or other. And I have a picture of myself, right? And you come along and say you're not as good as I am. I've discovered much more. Or I've done this, I've done that. I'll get a shock, right? So then my next question is, why do I have these pictures, images, ideas, conclusions, which can be heard? As long as I have them, they're all going to be trodden on. Right? No? No?
Are we asking, Krishnaji, why do we maintain the self?
No. My question is, just listen what I say. I have got them, right? And I see as long as I have them, somebody is going to tread on them. Doesn't matter, it may not be my wife, it may be some stranger, say, or somebody whom I know, somebody is going to tread on it. Then I get hurt. So I'm asking myself, why do I have these images, pictures, ideas, conclusions about anything which can be heard, which can be trodden on?
Isn't it to build up an identity?
So are you saying, I have identified myself with my belief, with my picture, with my image, with my, and so on. So I am all that, right? And when any of you tread on any of these things, I am hurt. Why don't, keep it as simple. So let's keep it simple first, and we'll make it very, very complex as we go along.
Because I feel I need to know and to be sure to be secure.
But it's so, isn't it? If you have no picture, madam, of any about yourself, I'm a marvelous woman, marvelous man, I'm very good at this, and so on. If I have no pictures at all about myself, you can't hurt me.
Then I'm afraid that I might not exist if I don't have
So, wait, then you say, if I don't have these images, pictures, conclusions, and so on, I am nobody. So, fear of being nobody creates these pictures, right? The fear of being nobody is conditioned by society, by your parents, and so on. They say you must be somebody, right? You must be good at mathematics, you must be good at being a professor, businessman, or a violinist, and so on. And society has imposed this through education, or you have your own capacity. And so you have a picture about yourself, and you say, can I live without a picture about myself? You say, I can't, because it's too frightening to be nothing. Wait, which means what? You actually have not given that up, the picture, but you are afraid of what might be. It might be something entirely different. It's like a person who is attached to another tremendously and won't let go. Because he says, my God, if I let go, you follow? What will happen? What will happen is creating fear, not letting go. But if you let go, then you'll find out what might happen. Right?
This part of the trouble seems to be we want to know what will happen before we let go.
Before I give up, I must have some reward at the end of it. This is the good old game we've all played. So I'm asking myself and you, why am I hurt? Can I and you be free of the idea, the image, the picture? If you can't, then get hurt and accept it and live with it and say, oh my God, is it possible to live without being hurt? I said, it's not possible if you accept that. But if you say, look, I know I'm hurt, now I see why I'm hurt. The reason, the logic, the sequence of getting hurt. Now, let us find out a way of not being hurt. That is, let's find a process or something which will completely wipe away any image I have. And I don't create future images. Is that possible?
Not creating a negative image.
Huh?
And not creating a negative image. Saying, I'm bad, I'm worth nothing, therefore I won't be hurt. There's nothing to
And that's a game you're playing. Do you really seriously want to find a way of living in which you cannot possibly hurt? Do you want to find out? And then, no, it's not a game you're playing.
But I think we think that these images about ourselves are necessary for some reason, so we won't draw them.
Let's find out. Are they necessary? If you think they are necessary, it's going to be hurt. Right? So anything that can be hurt is not necessary. Right? Anything that can be destroyed, trampled upon, broken up is not worth keeping. You wouldn't buy a cheap dress which will last half a day. Right? You may say it's necessary to have a dress, agree.
But sir, also along with those hurts comes pleasure, which is very
I
important.
just want to keep this one thing, sir, that comes a little later. You don't. Now, do we want to find a way of living in which there is no possibility of being hurt?
It seems that if I have an image of myself, it is because I always refer to the past.
Come on.
I always refer to the past.
Yes, which is, past is your knowledge about yourself, what you have accumulated, and so on. I'm asking a different question, sir, if you don't mind. I'm asking, do we want to discover for ourselves a way of living in which the picture is not?
Is that a way of
Dead silence.
Can we want to?
Hmm?
Can we want to? If we are afraid of being totally alone, totally empty, can we want to find out how to?
That's not the point. The point is there a way of living not to be hurt? Not how to be empty, what it means to be empty, not what it means to be lonely.
Well, not to be hurt implies to be empty, as we have talked over.
What's it, Chunky? Sorry.
No, not to be hurt implies to be empty, as he mentioned it, doesn't it? As we have talked it over.
I'm not, look, sir, that's not the point. We're not talking about emptiness. You see, you won't face the fact. You talk about non-fact emptiness. You don't know anything about emptiness. Why talk about it?
Well, when we discard all this.
Surely if you don't want to be hurt, that is possibly a wrong way of putting it. That seems to have a motive.
Bipan?
You see, if you live and you're prepared to look at hurt, and you will get hurt, but then be able to look at it and say, why am I hurt? I see what I'm doing. But not to avoid hurt, to live without hurt. You learn by living and seeing all these things happen.
But it's happening every day of my life.
Yes, and it's
Why should I?
Solve that. How to solve that?
Why should I look at it? I know it, I'm hurt.
But it's not necessarily a question of hurt, it's a question, there's a problem arisen, how do I solve this?
What?
How do I meet this?
I'm showing.
But if it's recorded in the memory and it's a return always of the memory, the same hurt, no?
Mr. Simmons, I'm asking you, or I'm asking each other, we're asking each other, knowing that one is hurt, either.
I don't think it's a question of hurt necessarily, I think it's a question of looking at difficult facts.
No, please, lady, now you're introducing something entirely different.
Well, I think it's the meeting of the facts that cause the difficulties.
I don't know how to meet the fact.
Well, I'm finding out to meet it.
Which is, that is, in living, I have learned the fact that I'm hurt.
Krishnamurti?
Answer her.
Well, I think she's just trying to say that if you say, how can I not be hurt, there's a danger of just avoiding being hurt. But obviously that's no solution either. That's just...
Yes, it's about what we're doing right now. Are we trying to move away from hurt? Trying to find a way to not be hurt? Then what is it about? Who's seeking for that?
No, Mrs. Simmons is saying something entirely different. As far as I understand, she's saying that as I live, I begin to learn the way I'm hurt and why I'm hurt, and not make a problem of it.
I don't think that's what she
Wait,
said.
wait, let me finish. If I can, I'm trying to understand what she said. That I'm not hurt, but I'm learning as I live that I'm getting hurt. And as I'm getting hurt, I learn about the hurt and act about it immediately. Is that what you're saying? Huh?
That is what life is about.
Huh?
That seems what life is about.
What life is about.
Yes, I understand. Is that it? Is life about like that? You may think life should be like that, but is it like that?
I find it so.
Actually, that you find that living, you are getting hurt, and you are learning about that hurt, and wiping away that hurt. Is that it?
So you tackle one hurt after another.
Just a minute. So you have learned about that hurt, and next time again you learn.
That seems to be just putting it off.
No, answer her. I'm trying to understand the problem as she raises it.
You see that in the course of it, that you're the common problem all the time.
Yes, I am the common problem, which comes to the same
So
thing.
you say, what is it about me? And I got such a fantastic ego that I refer everything back to how I feel.
Yes.
And so you begin to perhaps say, perhaps it doesn't rest with me. Perhaps there's something else.
So you have learned through a series of days, through series of events, that you get hurt, and that you have this enormous ego that's getting hurt, through a series of days, and then tackle the problem of why you have built this extraordinary importance about yourself. Is that it? I say, why do that? Why wait till the very end to discover that you have built this?
It is doing of it as you live. You don't sit down like
So,
this and discuss
can
it.
one do that? That's all I'm saying, the same thing. Probably we're saying the same thing in different words. Can you, as you live daily life, observe that you're getting hurt and wipe it away instantly? Can you? Will you?
I want to learn more about this hurt, the very hurt itself.
I tell you, it's hurt because I've got an image, picture about myself. You come along and say, you're not as good pianist as I am. And I get hurt. And because I've got a picture that I'm one of the best. But listen to it, sir. That gentleman hasn't understood the idea that we've got a picture about ourselves.
I have understood that.
Huh?
I have understood.
Then, as long as you have that picture, you'll be hurt.
Yes.
So, next question is it possible to wipe it out?
The hurt, you mean?
No, the picture.
The picture.
Which gets hurt.
If I can accept to be hurt, then that wipes out the picture.
No.
And it is no longer hurt.
Why should you accept a hurt?
Because if I accept the hurt, it is no longer hurt. It is something different if I can accept it.
Is that so?
Yes.
Yes, that is destroying all our images, all our conditioning.
Or you have a new image about yourself, about being able to accept hurt.
No, my question was...
I cannot do it.
The gentleman said that if you accept it, then it is no longer hurt. Now,
Yes.
I just want to know if that is so. Is that a real experience?
Just for me, yes.
Why should I accept anything? Why should I accept war? Why should I accept violence? Why should I accept I'm hurt and it's all right?
But it is the truth that is hurting me.
Huh?
So why should I not accept it? I am hurt by the truth.
But, all right, if you are if you are hurt by the truth, and you accept that hurt, who is accepting the hurt?
Well, it is not the image.
And
the
who is accepting the hurt? It's another image which is accepted.
You don't accept it.
No, you
the hurt, we react to the hurt. We don't just let it pass by and as if it was nothing. We are obsessed with it because it drives us to do things.
Even after having discussed all this, hurt will go on tomorrow, I'm sure.
What's up?
Even after having discussed all this today, hurt will go on tomorrow, I'm sure, when I read the newspaper.
Yes. So, we are hurt by the world events, by violence, and we are hurt by our immediate friend. So we are saying, as long as we have an image, which you may discover at the end of 10 days, learning about getting hurt and what's getting hurt and so on, can't you see directly now that as long as you have an image, either the accepting image or the denying image, they are still the images, to say, all right, as long as I have an image, it will be hurt.
But it seems to me that if one is thinking only in terms of hurt, then one is rather trapped because one may prefer to settle for the hurts one knows.
Yes, sir, but we can enlarge the whole thing, not just hurt. As long as I have an image, there is no possibility of love.
The image seems to be all that there is, so what can get rid of the image?
We were,
The image seems to be all that there is. So
that's
what
all
can
my.
get rid of
That's
the
all the
image?
question. As long as there is the image, you're going to be trodden on.
But I'm saying it seems that that's all that there is. So what can get rid of the image?
Now, what will you do?
Can we start looking at the image?
No, let's forget it. Let's start it again. As long, please help me, sir. I have got an image about myself. Marvelous image. I have taught for 50 years, and I'm a great man. I am extraordinarily clever. This, blah, 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 blah. And you come along, tread on it. And I get hurt. Because I have this immense egotistic picture about myself, right? Now please help me to be free of that picture. Because you have told me, as long as you have that picture, somebody is going to put a pin in it. Right? Right? Now help me not to understand the picture and wipe it away so that nobody can put a pin into me at all.
There are so many pictures.
Huh?
There are so many pictures. There are so many pictures.
No. There is only one picture maker in Bond Street, sorry. There is only one picture maker. There are not many pictures. Right? Oh, this is not clear?
There are many pictures, but only one picture maker.
No, only one painter painting many pictures.
Yeah.
That's all. Right?
Yes.
So who is that one painter? Who is painting innumerable pictures. I am a great man, I must be rich, I must have a position, I must be recognized. You follow? I am beautiful, I am lovely, I am great. You follow? These are all pictures.
And all our judgments.
Huh?
All our judgments.
All judgments, pictures, convictions, beliefs, doubt, the whole circus.
It's what I think of as myself.
Which is the image maker.
Yeah.
Which is what? Thought.
Yes.
Well,
Huh?
thought in a certain direction, self-interest.
What's that?
Thought in a certain direction.
Yes, thought in one direction one day, the next day the another, and so on, so on, so on.
But is thought...
No, okay, don't move. First, let me understand. You've said thought. Let me understand that. Don't jump to something else. Is that so? Is the central painter of innumerable pictures the one painter? Is it? Who is that one painter who is doing all this? You understand my question?
Yeah.
Who is that one painter who is painting so many pictures according to circumstances, according to desire, and so on, so on, so on? Who is that?
That's the thing I ever used to call me, but I doubt now if it's me.
Not what I call. Forget what I call. What do you call? What is your how do you look at the painter? The one painter. Who is the one painter?
Thought.
Tell them, sir, tell them.
Thought.
Wouldn't you say that this painter is made up by everything around me? I mean, because in a relationship, everybody has images, and they sort of it's like a whole board of fins, whereby you put one person over there and the other there, and yourself on a certain place on that board. And it seems that our relationship is well,
So,
roughly
look, Tunke,
that's why
Picasso painted 1,000 pictures, let's say. Different periods, different ideas, and so on. Picasso was this painter all the time, right? Who is that Picasso?
Talent.
Huh?
Talent.
Huh?
His talent.
What is that talent?
Function of
Who is that painter? Don't reduce it to talent. Who is that painter? The talent, right? The greed, money, communist, the dove carrying the peace. All that is Picasso, and more. His sexual appetite, his jealousies. So there is only one painter, which is me, Picasso. I'm not Picasso, but me, Picasso. Thank God. Now, as long as the pictures I am painting, somebody is going to come and tear it, right? And that tearing I call being hurt, right? Now, can I? What's good? Am I repeating this so many times? I want to find out a way of living that whatever I paint can never be trodden on.
Well then...
Wait, listen to my question first. Don't jump.
Yes, it's the second time it's aroused in the conversation. I see the question very clearly. For there not to be hurt, I think it's necessary for all the paintings to be eliminated.
Which means what? That I don't paint at all.
Right, yes.
Wait, no, go into it, old boy. That I don't paint at all, that I don't act, that I don't express, that I don't give way to my talent, and I do absolutely nothing.
Yes.
I can't live like that. And what are you saying?
Maybe one starts with
not putting the name on it.
Then, what do you mean by the picture? The picture is the self.
What?
The picture is images of ourselves, right? So, I mean, if you don't have those pictures, you can live still.
There is no self, no.
And then we get the painter without painting. That's no good.
No, there is no painting. There is no painter, nor painting, nor...
That's just look, old boy, that's just an idea. You're just enjoying this expression of ideas. But you haven't helped me.
Well,
I've asked you to help me. I've asked you all, listen, sir, I've asked you all to help me to be free of this hurt. And I also say not only these peculiar hurts, but to be completely without fear of being hurt. Help me.
Well, the saying that there is no fear to be hurt means that there are images, that there are paintings.
Please help me to be free from being hurt.
I'm doing the best I can.
You can't, you're not helping. You're putting it off in another set of terms. I am afraid. Listen to it carefully. I am afraid. Afraid of getting hurt. Now please help me to be free of my fear of getting hurt.
Nobody can help you.
Huh?
Nobody can help you.
Otherwise, you stop discussion.
Could we go back a little bit, because there's something that I don't really see well, which is we say that the painter is the me, and that's quite easy to say, and I could have said it, and yet I still don't see that entity. It's not so clear that I understand it and see it.
That's just the point. You don't see the truth, the reality of it, but you have accepted the ideas about it. Right?
Which is like another painting.
That's what we spent an hour and a quarter on ideas. We haven't faced the fact, which is my fear of getting hurt. And Mrs. Simmons says, learn about it as you live. Right? Learn what fear is, go into it daily as it happens, and learn all about it. Right? And at the end, it's finished. But I'm saying quite the contrary. Forgive me. Which is, don't spend a day on it, an hour on it. Look at it, understand it immediately, and wipe it, finished. There's no choice between the two. You don't say, I like her way, or I like your way. Let's find out what the truth of the matter is.
So is it a cumulative process where I acquire knowledge about being hurt, and I slowly, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I find out about it?
Talk to her, not to me.
How can I begin to look at this so that I see it much more clearly? Because so far I haven't been able to do that.
Do we accept the perception that we create something like a target and hold it up to the world to shoot at us? That we are admitting this pain that's being felt by creating a nucleus which is very vulnerable, and we've made it red with a bullseye around it.
So if we actually saw it as clearly as that,
yes, that it's
we would.
our fault. I'm using bad words, but the hurt isn't necessarily something outside that's inevitable. It's aimed at you, but that we admit that psychologically by the formation that we all have made of this notion of the self, this dependence.
Is it that we are afraid to discuss this question of relationship? For you it's very easy. Because you're not involved for the moment. But if you get married, have children, then it'll become a problem. You say, it's no problem. So you could say, I'm not afraid of it. But having married, having children, having the whole business, somebody comes along, let's talk about relationship, I'm frightened. Because I may discover things which may be shattering.
But there's relationship without marriage.
Oh, darling, sir, don't you... Yes, I can have a relationship without getting married.
Yes, indeed, isn't it refer to sorrow?
What's up?
Doesn't it actually refer to sorrow? As we live in sorrow, the hurt is part of sorrow.
Yes, quite.
And out of the hurt arises the image.
After the... Is that so? Or the image exists and they get hurt. Not after. You see, please, I'm asking you a simple question. First, if you don't mind. Is it that we are frightened to discuss relationship in which is involved dependency, attachment, and jealousy, sexual pleasures, remembrances of all that? Is it we're so avoiding to look at it? That's why we're all so silent?
Wouldn't you go a little bit deeper into the question, how do we get rid of the image and the image maker? Because that's the problem to me. How to get rid of it.
I think there's a difficulty here in words in how do I get rid of it, how do I wipe it away? Surely if it is an image, I want to see that it's an image, and I need a glass of water for thirsty.
So is the image different from you? Is the picture, the image, different from you?
Different.
Separate?
I don't know.
But is it? I'm asking you. Or you are that picture?
What is the entity that acts without an image?
What's that?
It seems that if we acted without an image, we would still act.
No, I've asked a simple question. Are we frightened to discuss about our relationships?
Yes, sir, it would seem so big.
Wait, I'm not just asking, sir. Forgive me, just 2 minutes, you can come out. Are we frightened to discuss relationship in which is involved attachment? Right? Dependence, sexual pleasures, the separateness. My wife and me are two different beings. There's a division. And open up this enormous, complex thing in relationship. I'm frightened to look at it.
I don't think that's frightened, because we don't know how to tackle it.
No, I'm asking, is anybody frightened about it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, no, yes, one is frightened. So you're avoiding it, are you?
No, it seems we'd have to start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning.
Which is conflict in relationship.
Which is conflict in relationship. You're attached to me, and I like it, so it's as long as both of us like it, there's no conflict. But suppose I begin to say, no, sorry, don't depend on me, it's rather irksome. Then conflict comes in you. So again, you see, how do we... I have asked this question, please answer it loudly or to yourself. Are you frightened to discuss this whole question of relationship?
No.
Huh?
No.
My darling.
I think yes.
Wait till you get married.
No, I'm not. I'm sitting
here and I want to talk about it. And
Yes, I'm talking. Are you frightened?
No.
No. Why? Why aren't you frightened?
Because I want to find out.
What? Verbally?
It seems that there's necessarily a certain reluctance to look at it
No,
because it involves the self.
no, Scott. I'm asking Thorla whether she really wants to find out without. She has no problem now. She says, "By Joe, I must understand this before I plunge into all that."
Yeah.
Now, can she understand it? Or must she plunge? Listen carefully. Or must she plunge into it and then understand it? Or can you look at the whole thing non-verbally and be seeing what is involved in it and begin?
How can we look at something not living in it?
Why not? Must I become a murderer before I find out about murder?
No, but this was not murder.
It's the same thing. It is exactly the same thing.
We were talking about marriage.
Are you saying marriage is murder? No, you asked me whether it is possible to understand something if you're not experiencing it. To that I said, must you understand murder, and therefore to understand murder you must commit murder? Must you get drunk to understand sobriety?
But we all have relationships, whether we're married or not, or whether we have...
Therefore, I'm asking you.
We all have relationships from the
That's
day
the
we're
whole
infants.
point. That's the whole point. If you acknowledge that I have this problem of relationship is one of the greatest importance in life, and I'm not frightened to look at it, I'm frightened to go into it, see the whole picture of it, what is its nature, its structure, what is involved in it. And you can only do that if you're not frightened. But at the beginning, if you are frightened, you can't open the door.
Not frightened to stand alone.
Big one?
Not to be frightened to stand alone.
No, you see, you have drawn a conclusion. I haven't drawn. I said, do we want to go into this question, whether we are married, not married, no girlfriend, boy, and all the rest of it, what the meaning and the implications and the nature and the whole business of relationship. And I say, if you really deeply want to go into it and understand the beauty of it, the tremendous thing involved in relationship, you must approach it without fear. But if I'm already caught in it, and I'm my wife and I'm afraid to open it because something might happen between her and me, I'd rather remain in the status quo as we are rather than open the door. That may be the most of us.
How can I know this room without sitting in it?
What's that?
How can I know this room without sitting in it? From outside, you mean?
No. I'm asking you in return, must I get drunk to know what it means to be drunk? Must I go get drunk?
Yes.
Huh?
I think so.
So why should I go through that? Why should I go through... I don't want to get drink. It's stupid. Why should I go through that?
I can't know you without knowing you.
You can't know me?
Without knowing you, without seeing you.
You can't know me. You met me, but you can't know me. You can know the picture of me, huh? the repudiation or non-repudiation about me, and so on. You can't actually know me, because the thing is living. So a living thing can never be known. It's only a dead thing can be known. So I can never say, I know my wife.
You can only follow it.
Huh?
You can only follow it.
You can always...
Stand by, having contact, follow the life.
Can you follow the life of another? All the variations, all the subtleties, all the nuances, the movement. So what are we talking about? Do we want to go into this question of relationship without fear?
Yes.
Huh? Yes? All of us? Or one or two, the rest say, hey, goes piano, piano. Non molto allegro. So this is we have come together to have a serious inquiry into our relationships, into our pleasures, into our sorrows, into a whole problem of existence. If you are afraid at the beginning, you can't go into it. So if you want to discuss fear, let's talk about it and wipe it away, not say, well, next year I'll come back to fear.
There seems to be one fundamental question whereby this painter still painted this image.
What?
It's because it seems that human mind wants to be like, and wants a company.
Yes, I know all that, Tunki. What I'm asking, look, old boy, I'm asking something else before you answer, before you put your own question. I put it first. So give me. I asked you, do you really want to go into the question of very complex problem of fear without fear? You want to go into the question of fear and therefore enter into the whole problem of relationship? And you can only enter it if you're not afraid of it.
Yet I can see that I can only enter it with fear.
What?
I can see that also that I can only enter it with fear.
You can't.
You can't at all.
It's like you can't climb the Everest with all your burden.
No.
So you throw away lots of things and have few things. Metaphorically speaking, you can't. They carried terrible lot of things to go there. So do you want to, tomorrow morning, discuss the question of fear? What do you say, sirs? Do you want to?
Is it really fear that's preventing us right now?
What?
Is it really fear that's preventing us from continuing to discuss relationship?
Yes, sir. Maybe.
Let's
Everybody.
question that, sir, because I'm not so sure.
Then what is preventing us from going into it? Or is it verbally that we don't understand English? Don't understand the expression of an English language, and therefore you're doubtful? So let's make very clear of every word we use, so that linguistically we understand each other. We are not doing anything but just throwing words at each other.
So that's part of the problem. The problem is here now we don't have a problem with relationships because we're listening, we're talking. The problem is later. And now we can understand the words, and that's quite easy, and you can, so that it's not necessarily fear of going into the problem that makes it difficult.
Look, there isn't any time left to discuss that. There's just no time.
Well, on Nick Hobbs' question, I would say that I think we just, it's not because we don't have the problem right now, but because we don't have the right question to ask.
No, Tunki, that's not it. I am frightened because I have committed myself to a woman or to a man and call that relationship. I'm frightened to open that cupboard. There may be terrible skeletons in it. So I would rather discuss round it and go, anywhere, but say, look, I want to go into this, understand it, and go fully into it. But apparently you don't.
Could we discuss tomorrow to go into this without fear?
I am saying, so perhaps the language difficulty here is, we are saying you cannot understand the depth, the beauty, and the whole complex question of fear, of relationship, if there is any kind of fear in you about it. That's clear. If I am afraid to enter, to understand the relationship and what is involved with it, I'm afraid because you follow, God knows what's going to happen. I might leave my wife. I'm not saying that, you follow? So I said, please, let's talk about relationship. So do we talk tomorrow morning about fear? What do you say, sirs? Which means, do you want to be free of fear to live differently?
There's tremendous fear of going into the question, but yes.
What?
There's an enormous fear of going into the question of what is fear.
Yes, sir. There's fear. That's what I'm saying. There's fear. And how can you examine anything if there is fear? How can I understand what love is if there is fear? I can tell my wife I love her, but it means nothing if I'm afraid.
Sir, may I ask a question?
There's no chairman here.
I wonder if it's possible for us at all to approach things in this way. Like today we tried to talk about relationship, and we find that when we are afraid, we cannot discuss it. You see, tomorrow we'll talk about fear, and we find something else will stop us from
That's
talking
right,
about
sir.
fear.
That's
and then
right.
it goes on
That's
and
what
on.
is going to happen.
So how are we going to approach all this?
That's what's going to happen.
So how?
Therefore, that means you're not serious. I want to live a life without fear.
That's the same thing.
I will do anything to stop my fear. Give up my property, give up my wife, give up everything because I want to live without fear. You follow? That's the only way to find out. You can't just sit on and talk about the mountain top. You have to climb it.
But that, as I understand that question, it's almost the same thing as saying, I want to live a life without any hurt.
That's right, same thing, sir.
And as far as I can see, we haven't really finished with that question. We haven't discovered what it means to live a life without hurt, or how one can come to that.
Look, Scott, I want to find out why I'm hurt, right? And I find, verbally at least, that I have got an image which is going to be hurt. And that image is me.
Right. But we're not satisfied with just the words.
I have, that's a rationalization, logic, and all the rest of it. But it isn't an actuality. So how are you going to make me understand and see the actuality of it? You can't do it unless you can't do it. You can't hit me on the head.
No.
You can't bully me into it. You can't persuade me into it. You can't give me a reward to see it. You say, well, here it is, look at it. But if you refuse to look at it, what am I to do?
Or if one is unable to look at it, how does...
Why are you,
how does
I
that
said,
come
why
about?
are you unable to look at it? Stop there and find out. Don't go off to something else. Why are you unable to see something dangerous? Huh?
Because of that fear.
So it may be fear, it may be habit. You never even thought about it. You are so heavily conditioned, you refuse to see it.
Or the brain just keeps...
Your brain may not be active enough to see it. So these are all the factors. So one has to then examine why your brain, when faced with something very, very dangerous, refuses to see it. Is it made dull by drink? By sexual overindulgence? You follow? Is it by a continuous traditional acceptance of things? And so on. So the brain has become mechanical, right? And so something new put in front of it says, I don't understand. Is that so? Is your brain like that? Is your brain mechanical?
It's very mechanical.
So,
but I don't
why,
know if
no,
that's
wait,
the only
stop there. If it is very mechanical, why? What has made it mechanical? Knowledge?
Partly. Habit?
Habit?
Partly.
Routine? Can you break? Can the habit be broken? Without the man who says, I want to break it, which is mechanical. You follow? So can you do all that? Not take years and years and days. No, instantly do it, completely free of habit. You can only do it when you see the fact of it, when you see the danger of a habit. Going day after day to the office, habit, the mess of it all.
But what comes first?
Huh?
What comes first, to be free to see, or to see to be free?
No. So we said, why has the brain become so mechanical? You understand? Why? Is it we have accepted tradition, habit, living in a routine. You follow? So, if all these are the causes of the mechanistic mind, then why don't you break it?
So somehow the self is involved in all of
Yes,
this. And
don't
to
involve.
survive, to maintain itself.
That is just an avoidance of breaking the habit. Self is involved, and so on. Here is a factual thing, that is, habit in any form becomes mechanistic, right? Habit implies mechanistic. The very meaning is a habit. So the brain might have got into this habit of living this way, and it says, please leave me alone. I'm used to this. Don't break it up because I don't know what will happen. So I said, you follow?
I feel a kind of laziness to break it.
Huh?
I feel a kind of laziness to break habits.
Yes,
Very difficult.
if it is laziness, go into it, break your laziness. See, we all talk about this. Should we talk about fear tomorrow morning? Not for the fun of it, but actually say, look, I'm afraid. I want to be free of the damn thing. Then it's worth it. You follow? Then it's fun to talk about it. But if you say, well, I'm afraid, but let's talk about the window, there's no point about it. Right, so it's time to stop.